Hello all of you beautiful people, Jules here for Live and Let's Dice, and thanks to the lovely people over at Games Workshop, we have been sent a copy of their latest standalone game, WarCry. I've not brought the box in with me because it is fucking massive and I don't want to throw my back out, but trust me, it's quite the thing. However, we have played a fair few games and have put out a fair few on this channel as well. Or at least I should have done by now. I mean, I'm doing this in my spare time when I'm not working at What Culture, and daddy can only lay bricks so fast, kids. But regardless of that, we've put together our review of this game for you today. Now, first of all, an admission, I love Age of Sigmar, and the narrative that Games Workshop has built over the last 4 years is truly impressive. So, when they announced that they were going to do a new skirmish game set around the forces of chaos and its worshippers, oh, I was on board. From a lore standpoint, the narrative is pretty simple. You control a warband of fighters pledging to find glory in the name of chaos by smashing, crushing, slicing, biting, and generally mischieving other warbands who are similarly like-minded in their quest. It's basically the big old duff-up that you'd expect, nay, insist that chaos would be known for. Which warband you choose is entirely up to you, and each has been crafted to feel completely unique. In the starter box, you get the choice of the heavily armoured but a bit slower iron golems and the lithe and numerous untamed beasts who come complete with their own hell-bent animal fiend, who I painted like Red 13 from Final Fantasy VII. Get me. And there are even more on the way. The third band that was released are called the Cypher Lords and offer up an agile glass cannon affair, while other warbands are looking to make sure that every play type is catered for. And that makes it so easy to get stuck into battle. The rules are fabulously easy and crystal clear, which actually mirrors the narrative perfectly. In fact, in order to learn this game, you need only look at maybe 10 pages from the core rulebook, while the remaining section of this quite weighty book are building backstory, setting up campaigns, and even tournaments. It is rather sexual if you ask me, and cuts the back and forth page turning that basically makes up all of my 40k matches. Coming alongside the two warbands is a small council estate's worth of scenery to build and use in your games, and it is beautifully modelled and is so modular as well that you can just add so much variety to your play sessions. Rounding out the pack, you get dice, a ruler, battle plan cards for generating your games, a board, and all the ability and stat cards for both the Iron Golems and the Untamed Beasts, but also the native wildlife in the form of chaotic beasts. In short, the amount of content that you get in this box is monstrous, and GW have gone above and beyond to start this game out on the right foot. Games are quick and easy, usually running 3 rounds on average, and the quick play time and massive customization of match types means that you'll often be getting multiple games out of your sessions with your friends. One of the aspects that I truly adore about WarCry, though, is that you get 4 decks that determine the board layout, the victory condition, the deployment, and finally, the twist, which is a brilliant way of spicing up matches. For example, you might have a victory condition that says, I don't know, get people 3 inches off the floor, like the floor is lava, but you might have drawn a card in the twist deck which halves movement speed because of a downpour, making it a frantic race against time. Now, the fact that each of these decks is packed with cards, and there is potentially more on the way, means that no 2 matches feel the same. And with the data cards for a slew of other Age of Sigmar armies now available, it means that you can have, I don't know, some Iron Jaws rocking up to slog, or some Nighthorn popping out to try and drag even more souls below. The game is also surprisingly tactics-driven at times, with you needing to spend dice to trigger abilities and skills which can be used to buff your allies or even knock enemies into oblivion. This, coupled with a 2-action limit for each model, means that you can have instances of, I don't know, baiting enemies towards you while you use your first turn to move and then wait, attacking twice for massive damage, or even making cheeky getaways when the mood strikes. And this smile suggests I've won battles by doing that. However, with all good blows to the head, there are some negatives that I will discuss right now. But they are pretty minor. In fact, the largest one is probably the assembly instructions of the scenery itself. Specifically, when it comes to building the pieces, there's no sort of mention on how to put them together to correspond with the battlefield cards in the box. It didn't actually either advise whether or not you should stick certain bits to certain other bits, such as ladders, stairs, or platforms, as these parts are supposed to be able to be moved around game to game, which can be a big annoyance if you find that you've already stuck them together and then just go, oh, right. Just a little bit of warning next time. The second gripe that I have isn't one that I personally have, but I can see others possessing. It's basically that the game is very easy and simple to play, but with that simplicity comes rigidity. So WarCry might not be for the people who enjoy the freedom of customizing their team that comes with other Games Workshop specialist titles like Blood Bowl, Necromunda, or even Kill Team. Instead, the variety comes from the battlefield and the match types, not so much as the warbands that you take. However, as with Warhammer Underworlds has proved, a limited and fixed model count isn't so much of a big deal to many, so up to you, brother. All in all, WarCry is a brilliant game for newcomers and veterans of wargaming alike. You can have the rules basically memorized after just a couple of play sessions, and you'll just be making up stories for your warband, taking them on campaigns and quests, which they can get injured in and die from. Making it a huge laugh to basically craft something customizable in that sense. It is easy to pick up, but contains a glut of content that will keep you full for ages. With this in mind, I am giving this 4.5 stars out of 5. There's honestly never been a better time to get into small-scale wargaming, and whichever warband you might choose, may the ever-chosen forever be in your favor. And there we go, that was our review on WarCry. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. If you'd like to follow me, here are my details. To follow me on Twitter, make sure that you subscribe to the channel to stay updated for more Games Workshop and all other board game content. So as I've been Jules, you've been awesome, never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!